What is computer science? Let's start by saying that computer science is the science of computers. To expand on that, computer science is defined as the study of computers and computational systems, and deals with the theory, design, development, and application of software. Computer science shares ties to its cousin subjects, math and physics, and often people interested in computer science are also passionate about math, physics, or both. In order to study computer science, you need to be able to communicate with the computer. We do this by programming. Some people say programming, others say coding, others say development. All of this means the same thing: writing code that the computer understands in order to perform steps to solve a problem. An algorithm is a step-by-step sequence of instructions intended at solving a problem. Algorithms play a huge part in computer science, as all developers that write code are essentially writing algorithms that the computer will execute. Computer science has been around since the mid-1900s, and many of the problems that developers face repeat themselves. Therefore, some developers have created what are called design patterns, general, reusable solutions to commonly occurring problems in software design. In 1994, one of the most iconic books in all of computer science was published, named Design Patterns: Elements of Reusable Object-Oriented Software. It was written by 4 great software engineers, nicknamed the Gang of Four. Inside of this book, there are 23 design patterns, which have become the core concepts for computer science and software engineering in the 21st century. In this course, you will learn all 23 of those design patterns and how to implement them in Python. How does a person communicate their intent to a computer? Believe it or not, computers only understand 2 characters, zeros and ones. They don't know any other numbers, letters, or symbols. Zeros and ones are called binary code, the language of the computer. Programming languages interface between us and the computer. We write code that then compiles down into zeros and ones before it is executed by the computer. There are so many programming languages out there that you can use to communicate with the computer and write algorithms through code that the computer can execute. Python is one of the most popular programming languages in the world, and it is the one that we will use in this course. In the next lecture, we will learn what computer programming is. In this lecture, we will learn what programming is. Programming is writing instructions that the computer will follow to process data into information. There are several programming languages that we can use in order to write these instructions for the computer. Each programming language has its own syntax, or rules of the language, that the programmer must follow as they code the program. When programming, errors will come up in the program. The process of finding and fixing errors in your code is known as debugging. Programming allows developers to solve problems and empowers them to create software. It lets us make hardware talk to software, get user input, solve problems, and provide services. Here are some basic terms associated with programming. Documentation is the reference manual for the language. It allows us to see all of the things that the programming language gives us built-in access to. Pseudocode is programming logic written out in plain English. It allows us to plan out our code before we write it. Libraries are groups of code available to import into your own code. Code readability is a term that refers to how easy the code is to read. Version control is software that makes it easier to save changes and collaborate with other developers. In the next lecture, we will learn about the 5 generations of programming languages.